are books you read, and then there are books that change how you stand inside your life. Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl is not a comfort book. It's not a motivation book. It's a book written from inside the most extreme pressure a human nervous system can experience, Nazi concentration camps. And it answers a question most people avoid. What keeps a human being alive when comfort, control, and certainty are gone? What Frankl discovered wasn't hope, it wasn't optimism, it wasn't positive thinking, it was meaning. Viktor Frankl was a neurologist and psychiatrist. He lost his freedom, his family, his career, his future as he knew it. And instead of asking, why is this happening to me? He asked a different question. What is life asking of me now? That question alone changes the nervous system. Frankl noticed something disturbing and profound. The prisoners who survived longest were not the strongest, not the smartest, not the healthiest. They were the ones who had something to live for, a future task, a responsibility, a meaning beyond the present pain. Frankl wrote, "Those who have a why to live can bear almost any how." I believe that comes from Friedrich Nietzsche. But it serves the purpose of what Frankl experienced. He had a why to live. And here's the part that really stood out to me. Frankl describes while sitting still inside the concentration camp, starving, freezing, uncertain if he would survive, he would imagine himself standing in a lecture hall, warm, safe, clear-minded. He imagined himself teaching, explaining to students and professionals the psychological lessons he learned inside the camps themselves. Think about what that means. His body was imprisoned, but his identity wasn't. He didn't imagine escape. He imagined integration. He saw himself making sense of the suffering, turning pain into knowledge, transforming experience into service. This wasn't fantasy. This was state regulation through future identity. Modern neuroscience now explains exactly why this worked. When you vividly imagine a future self, the brain activates the same neural networks as real experience. Stress hormones decrease, the nervous system shifts from threat to orientation. Pain becomes survivable because it is temporary and purposeful. Frankl wasn't disassociating. He was organizing his nervous system around a future meaning. Pain becomes unbearable when it's endless. Pain becomes endurable when it has a destination. This is where Frankl quietly meets manifestation teachings. Neville Goddard said, live in the end. Frankl lived in the after while standing in the during. He didn't deny reality. He placed reality inside a larger timeline. That's the difference between fantasy and power. You don't escape suffering by pretending it isn't happening. You transcend suffering by knowing who you are becoming because of it. Rudolf Steiner taught that human beings are not here for comfort. We are here for development. Steiner spoke of tasks of destiny, moments where difficulty isn't punishment, but curriculum. Frankl didn't ask, how do I avoid this? He asked, what is being formed in me through this? That is conscious participation in becoming. Frankl identified three sources of meaning: creating or contributing, work, service, expression, experiencing, love, beauty, nature, connection, and number 3, the attitude you take toward unavoidable suffering. That third one is advanced consciousness. That's where calm becomes strength. Why this matters now? We aren't suffering from too much pain, most of us. And we're suffering from too little meaning, too much stimulation, too many options, too little responsibility. Frankl called this the existential vacuum. When meaning is absent, people fill space with distraction, addiction, drama, consumption. Meaning isn't found by escape. Meaning is found by engagement. That engagement is creation, producing something, being involved, taking responsibility. If you're in something hard right now, ask better questions. Who am I becoming on the other side of this? How will I speak about this once it's integrated? What wisdom will this give me to offer others? That future version of you is not imaginary. It's organizing you now, just like it organized Frankl. Frankl didn't teach happiness. He taught dignity. He didn't teach escape. He taught inner authority. And he proved something timeless. You may not control your conditions, but you do control who you become within them. Calm, cool, collected. Not because life is easy, but because you know where this leads. Go in love and peace with wisdom and understanding. Enjoy this day. You assign the meaning. This is your life.